Hey guys, this is Tiffany. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to your spiritual awakening. Hope you're doing good. This is part 2 of pretty much the top signs and symptoms that you are actually having a spiritual awakening or have recently awakened or in your wakefulness of this journey, which is, like I've said a few times, it's a lifelong journey of learning. It's beautiful. All right, so last time I talked to you about intensified perception. I said that your perception is very, very vivid. It is very direct. You are completely entranced by all things that have to do with nature, the sea, the ocean, and basically everything about everything about everything. And why that's so important, I think, for this is because as you learn everything about everything as you see fit, well, it makes you question more things, and then you learn more things about those things. So that's a pretty important piece. I mean, we want to constantly keep evolving. So if one awakens and stops learning about all these things, especially with trigger words that I specifically use to cause you to go and look up those things, well, then, you know, you're never going to reach enlightenment, which is very different from awakening. And we've already made one video on that for you. So how about this? Let's pretend that you have awakened. You want some signs and symptoms of proof of that? All right, cool. Let's do that. Then after that, intensified perception. So in a childlike way, just like a sponge, you're captivated by everything. Everything is amazing. Everything is beautiful. Then the nature of everything is beautiful. The nature of beautiful being beautiful is beautiful. I'm serious. And by the way, I know I've said this a few times. You're going to have to just get over the fact that electronics don't like to work around me. That's fine. Yeah, I've discovered the word that actually like goes with that. With that in mind, I'm just going to go ahead and move that just a little bit away from me. So, you know, obviously, if electronics don't like to work around me, then they kind of have a mind of their own. Enough said about that. Okay. And back to, like, literally, plants, any phenomena whatsoever, any conspiracy theory whatsoever, any fact, any thought, any theory, any doubt, anything. You're going to want to learn everything about everything, because learning is, you know, absolutely amazing. It is the ultimate way to understand continually over and over and over and over again without it actually being or becoming a habit. And you hear me say all the time that if you do anything at all whatsoever for 15 to 28 times, it will become habit. Well, learning, sure, you could learn about one thing 15 to 28 times and that could become habit, but learning in and of itself is not, you know, it's not a habitual thing that becomes a habit just out of habitness. It's a desire, a yearning. So here you go. All of a sudden, you're gonna, like I've said multiple times, when you realize this happens, you are just going to snap into it. And you will have had all these other signs and symptoms and, you know, died a few times, whether you'd like to use that metaphorically or physically, it doesn't matter. So basically you're going to talk differently. If you have listened to any of my videos or watched them, you've heard me say multiple times that if you're going to pray for something during this spiritual awakening, you want to pray for wisdom. Because if you pray for wisdom, then knowledge and all of the other things that come along with it will happen naturally. Now, if you were to pray for knowledge versus wisdom, that doesn't guarantee you wisdom. Okay, guys, I had to take a brief little break. My dog was barking. And anyway, back to this. So when I'm talking about intensified perception and I'm comparing it to vampirism or vampires, dating way back to even like the first ever, it was a black and white movie about, you know, vampires. And vampires have always had this, you know, heightened abilities, heightened sense of abilities that humans did not have. This awakening is pretty much exactly like that, except you don't have to, you know, murder anyone or drink blood, whatever. Yeah. But the abilities and the senses, they are heightened. Some of the abilities that you may or may not receive are, you may become an empath. If you were already one, you're going to become a bajillion time better empath. If you were already psychic, you are going to become so much more psychic, and like it just on the dime every time. You don't miss a beat, literally. And I don't want anybody to watch this video and misconstrue psychic to be something that like, oh, well, if you're so psychic, why don't you just win the lottery or play the lottery? It doesn't work that way. Psychic, okay, that's clairvoyance, clear audio, clairsensory. I'm a medium now. I was not a medium prior to that. I was practicing with, like I said, I played on the dark side, which was a very important part of my awakening. And when I say played on the dark side, I mean I spiritually became aware of and spent time with, learning everything I could about not just God, Jesus, the Bible, and everything that I kind of already knew, or, you know, the fact that every church had a different way of putting it, but, you know, the other side of it, Aleister Crowley and magic and illusionism, and also, you know, a lot of other things, conspiracy theories, just all kinds of cool stuff. And somewhere along the lines, that led to Baphomet sigils, symbols, and that became very, 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 very important. And so did the use of a Ouija board, because the use of a Ouija board led to me connecting with, while she was still alive, Lorraine, you know, Ed and Lorraine Warren. Warren passed a few years ago. Lorraine passed a few weeks ago, and to their son, because of a specific entity that was continually making contact with me, not just through the Ouija board, but you know, looking back, I've actually been plagued by this very specific one of many, and we'll go into that at some point, but I'm not going to say their name, but anyway, that one seemed to be an ongoing occurrence. But anyway, so you seem to be struck by how fresh everything is all of a sudden. You are so remarkably awakened. Everything seems brighter and more alive. I mean, there are people that even describe this sense of awe like having a new appreciation for all of the simple things and the simple pleasures and simple, just basic activities like brushing your teeth or walking, talking, cooking, eating, or just simply attending to your surroundings. I'm serious. Everything is awesome, completely enhanced, completely elevated to the point where you're just absolutely, I always say this because it's important that I say this. We, as awakened individuals and as soul, okay, so we are soul. We are soul. We are love. We are one, and we realize that as a collective we, those of us that are aware of this connectivity, we realize that we are all one, and one in a collective manner, that we are all connected to each other in some way, shape, or form. You know, some people might call that 6 degrees of separation. Other people, I'll do another video on the matrix because I do want to talk to you about that. That's a very important one, but we'll come back to that. So anyway, some of these things, like I said, I'm only using my own personal experiences here to kind of make it more relatable for how it happened for me, and in which ways and why. And it was things I was already interested in. So anything that you were already interested in, it becomes heightened and interested in an educational manner, because I've already told you in prior videos that you lose interest in everything that you used to like. So I don't mean, you know, foods. I mean foods that you used to like. Yeah, no, that's dead and gone. You'll never eat that again. You want to be healthier. You just have this desire to become healthier. So the next thing, you're going to become increasingly present, and you're going to understand at full capacity that time does not exist the way it's shown to us. So time in this realm, and then you awaken. Your spiritual awakening is going to bring you a different perception of time, or a shift in time orientation, meaning that you can bend time, shape time, stop time, fast forward time, and you have no reason to do that. You can slow time. You can travel through time, space, distance, realms, dimensions. And I did just say that most of that came from your having of a different perception of time. In your wakefulness, the past and the future become non-important anymore. Everything that you used to fear, now that you finally let go of that last little nagging thing that I always say is the fear, that will literally be the thing that breaks you through this side of the awakening prior to it, and then here we are, right here. We are awake. We are alive. We are more alive than we've ever been in our whole life, and everything is absolutely amazing. Seriously, I mean, the simplest things are everything to us. Okay, and while that sounds wonderful, there are multiple other sides to this. So, with your increased perception and knowledge that time on a clock is only set for, you know, people to get up at a certain time, go do a certain thing, stick to a schedule, do this, do that, go to work, come home, eat dinner, go to bed, wake up at 7 a.m., take the kids to school, all that redundant stuff. Nope, not after your awakening. It's not redundant anymore. It's not. It's very important. So no more fear. Your fear, believe me, after you die a couple times, you're not going to have any fear anyway. But any fear, past, present, future, it's gone. It doesn't even have any significance or importance. The only thing that's really important to you, we're going to get to that. Things that are important to you right now are things that, you know, rather than, let's say, you all of a sudden have a desire to always be present in any situation. Okay, more so than you ever have before in your entire life. So rather than spending time like recalling a past experience, or ruminating over past events, or just looking forward to the future, daydreaming, looking back, all that goes away. And it doesn't go away as in dissipate, it just becomes severely insignificant. All you are focused on for this one piece of this is you're looking forward. No, you are focused on future goals. You are aware that now you want to eat healthier. Maybe you won't eat meat again. For real. Those are just a few examples. So you're not looking forward to anything. The key to the awakening process leading to enlightenment is that you don't daydream about it. You don't think about it. You are it. You become it. And it is the appreciation and the liveliness of not just the perception or the subconscious intake, and then the consciously aware of what we've taken in subconsciously. All of that in combination with everything, it is an all-encompassing it. And that it is love. Not hope, but love. And it is what it is. It doesn't need to be. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have. You are no longer that person that holds grudges. I promise you that. You are no longer the person that fears the future, if you ever did. I promise you that. So you're getting these sensations, and you are completely aware of basically everything. Your sensations, you have these impressions. Everything becomes sort of impressionable on you, much like it did in childhood. You completely are, impressionable. And this increased, presentness, it does lead to a sense of the expansiveness of time. Now, when we start using words like expanding and expansiveness of time, I just told you that you can stop, move forward, go back and forth in time. You can do all kinds of stuff with time, and not time on a clock. What you know to be time on a clock in your schedule and your daily routine is completely insignificant now, once you've awakened. Now you have this, out of nowhere, you seem to out of nowhere have this, you've had this awakening, and this sense, this eternal sense that you just know all the things merge into one. Past, present, future, all led you to who you are, where you are now. All those things that, I researched for a year, it all came into play. And that made me completely aware of being present at all times. Or another way to look at it is an all-pervading spiritual energy. And energy is a very important key here. So as we begin to realize that we have these heightened abilities, okay, and higher intensities, and as we keep expanding in our spiritual awakening, we're starting to experience symptoms like becoming aware of a spiritual force that pervades all things and all the spaces in between all things. So yeah, basically what I just said wrapped into a full sentence. There are people that just say it like, it's a vast presence which is just infinite and pretty mind-blowing, especially in nature. Some people call this, it seems to be like God, but not like you are God, but I said I wouldn't touch on religion, but I have to right now. So what happens if you're referring to this as God. If you are referring to a spiritual awakening and that equates to God, that means you see time like God sees time, which man created. So you are able to look past that. And also, again, you have this vast presence and knowledge and infinite, mind-blowing everything. You're one with nature. You become even aware of Gaia, which is the, the female essence, Mother Earth, if you will. There's lots of different ways I could put that it's not important how I put it, it's just important that I put it. And you are also completely aware of all of the things, including the manifestation of this force that has overcome you. And it's, really, there really isn't a word, maybe supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Okay, maybe that word like comes close to what I'm saying, but yeah. All right, next up, aliveness, harmony, and connectedness. Like I just said, we are extremely aware that we are connected. We are so alive. My goodness, guys, I operate on such a high frequency. It's like literally moving my phone right now, which I told you a few times over that it's going to do that. It doesn't like me around electronics. Electronics go haywire. That's going to happen to you too. So, you'll see. It's not really a sensation. You are completely aware that you are completely and fully alive. Everything around you is alive. Everything is somehow, whether it's directly or indirectly related to any kind of sense, is also alive. It's a direct ability to identify with the fact that you now know every single thing is alive and the value of life and being alive, right down to, as I said the other day, like right down to a pen. Yeah, I know it sounds weird, but you'll understand. Even, goodness, to us awakened people, I really can't, I don't know what to say. Listen, even inanimate objects, like I just said about the pen, and even, natural phenomena that aren't biologically alive, such as clouds, sea, stones, I don't know, man-made objects such as pieces of furniture or buildings. Well, all of a sudden they have this shine and radiance, aliveness of spirit to them. And not just them, but you too have that. And that is, to me, that seems like common sense, that if you are an all-encompassing, alive, every single thing means so much to you, of course that's going to rub off on everything around you. To me, that's common sense. And of course you're going to start viewing every single thing like that. Not like you start doing it like it's some kind of a, predictive pattern of something that you're going to do. You just wake up one day. When you awaken, it's called an awakening for a reason. You just awaken one day. 3 weeks later, you become aware of the fact that you have awakened, and this is what you're going to be experiencing during that time. And these are just signs and symptoms, just a few of them. So, everything just becomes more powerful. Really, honestly, everything just looks and feels really real and really alive. Everything is enhanced a bajillion times. I can even recall, oh my gosh, and this is a big one. One of the things that is the most important thing to me now that I have had my spiritual awakening and broken through that, I'm telling you right now, I just told you that electronic devices and I do not get along. It's not something that I do on purpose. I don't even have to know you. If somebody were to send me a message, I don't even like social media anymore. So let's just hypothetically pretend that for a minute somebody sent me a message on social media. Well, by my responding to that message or text message or whatever, their phone's going to start acting up. And it gets kind of to the point where, you know, you're able to laugh about it, because remember, we don't have any mean in us. We are love. We are kind, we are aware, we are alive, we are awake. And I can tell you, I sit in my room all the time and I just stare into space, into the literal air that I can see. No TV. Music. I still listen to music sometimes. I've only been able to do that again in the last few days, but I haven't been able to listen to music for a while. I haven't touched my guitar in a while either. I hated everything that I used to love. But honestly, like, I can literally see every particle of every. If you think I'm staring into space, I'm literally seeing particles of air, every ion, every particle, every single manifestation of everything that makes anything, the literal energy itself. I can literally see literal energy, literal air. I can literally see air and through it. And the fact that there is air, and the air between, like, say, this and the TV, or you know, my sight and my shirt, and all the particles that are in between my sight and my shirt, without thinking. It's a visual thing that you just see. You just are, you just do, and you just know. You see it. So sometimes you just kind of stare at things, and it seems like you're just staring there, marveling at things. But really what people don't understand is, while we're sitting there quietly in a room, which probably the blinds aren't even open because sunlight bothers us, because we know about the harmful rays of the sun. We're fully aware of what's going on in the world, and that's why we don't do social media. We don't want to be surrounded by that. We're not going to watch the news because we don't want to hear about that. We are very aware of what is going on in the world, but don't want to hear anything negative in any way, shape, or form whatsoever. So now that everything is alive, everything else is also alive. It's sort of like it biologically became alive just by you awakening. Fact. All right. So, and it's strange. I know it sounds strange, and that's fine. You know, I cannot tell you how strongly, it's like literally the strongest feeling I've ever had about anything in my whole life, with 100% seriousness and all of my energy and everything that I am comprised of. I swear to you, this is the strongest thing I've ever felt in my life. I have never, ever, ever been more certain about anything. And at this point, everything is okay. And I am completely certain of that. I don't have room for time, you know, insignificant, whatever. I don't worry. I don't stress. Bills come in, I pay them. Oh, well, cool. See you again next month. Auto draft, you know. You just stop that. You realize how much time you spend obsessing over time. For real. And it bothers you for a second, because now you're not the kind of person that can be bothered like that anymore. And that's where I believe the consciousness sort of takes over everything that we've been ingesting subconsciously through our learning processes, and how we've ingested all of this, like, from a new standpoint and a new understanding and a brand new perception. Well, we are consciously aware of that subconsciously being inserted into our brain. We're also very conscious of the pineal gland, the third eye, and this thing at the base of the spine called the vasovagal process. Okay, so it just seems like everything is perfect. Everything is, it reminds me a lot, like, of a rainbow child. And this is why sometimes I say that I think anybody who's awakened and also is a starseed, my dominant trait is indigo, but I do believe that all three traits are within every single starseed. And if you are awake right now in this moment in life, right this second, then you're a starseed. Whichever one of your dominant traits are, whether it be indigo, rainbow, or crystal, it doesn't matter, because you're going to have all three. You just are. So also another thing that I can say that was very strong is this extreme spiritual force. I mean, you just know that everything is fine. It's great. It's cool. It's blissful. It's energy. Energy does not die. So what in the world are y'all like so afraid of? Are you afraid of death? Why? We are made of energy. Energy cannot die. It can change. It can transform. It can only go on and on and on and on and on. Therefore, you can never truly die. You have a soul. Your soul is energy. So, underlying this spiritual energy that, as I just said, is all-encompassing, or, you know, some might put it pervades all things, and it creates a sense of connectedness or oneness. We totally are aware that we are connected and we are all one. That's easy to say. Also, we have the sense that there are boundaries between specifically, or I'm sorry, you're going to do that a lot too. We fumble for words because, again, man-made word and true word is sound. So we do fumble for words. I have no problem admitting that. That's fine. Also, as an awakened person, I can tell you that we are able to sense and we just know, you know, boundaries between anything superficially created, separated, and distinct objects, places, history have just melted away. They're just gone. You know, it's the oneness of everything. We are the oneness of the universe, and we are a collective we of the oneness of the universe. Some might even coin something to the effect of basically kind of, I mean, I know we're oneness of universe, so are we universe? I know we're oneness of God, so are we God? I know we're oneness with spirituality, so are we spirit? I know we're oneness with love, so are we love? Of course we are. Yeah. Yes. I mean, if you can't see it in my eyes, look closer. I'm not capable of lying to you. I love everything so much, and I appreciate every single thing, person, everything, even you watching this video who I've never met and will never meet. And even if I did, I'm not going to act any different than I am right now. I don't do acting. I'm just me. But I will always look you straight in your eyes and tell you that I love you. People who show up at my door and say some of the things that they say, you know, so I'm not going to get into that example because I did that in a prior video, but anybody who enters my front door, you are not going to leave here without crying. And I mean happy crying. It's like, I don't know. I'm so sincere. I'm so serious. I'm going to wrap my arms around you and I'm going to hug you. And you're going to be safe and you're going to know everything is okay. Because I'm telling you that it is. And that's a fact. So there's a shift. There is the beginning of the shift between the awakening and the enlightened ones, the enlightenment. And illuminated is another thing. We'll get into that here, but let's just finish getting through this list, please. So, as an indigo, or maybe even just like as an awakened person themselves, we've always known that there's something seriously, you know, structurally and every other physical way wrong with the way that things are. So again, I own a nonprofit, right? I wanted to cure homelessness. So, I mean, to me, common sense was like, listen, they already live underneath the bridge. Why don't we give them all tents, blankets, jackets? Let's keep them warm, dry, and fed. Simple, right? Then I thought about it a little bit more, and I'm like, wait a minute. So they already live underneath the bridge, and now they have tents and blankets and jackets and food and all these other great things. And what if we just took the bridge, and instead of like building more onto the bridge, what if we just took the bridge that like, here's the bridge and here's the ground, and this, all of this space like right here in between where they're all living, why don't we just build wall, door, wall, door, restroom, ladies, men. I'm just talking about taking a bridge that's already there and like using this amount of space between where the bridge is and where it touches the ground. And with the homeless people that already live there, why can't we turn that into a little bit of a more secluded area for them to give them some privacy? My gosh, y'all, they don't even have privacy. Can you imagine? I bet not. And that's okay. So what we do is we become very, very, very profoundly affected by everything, and this shift in us, the way we feel, even though I already felt some, like basically everything before. This is a different level. This is a shift in feeling. This is a thing that I felt like, God, it's right there. Why is nobody doing anything about it? Okay, well, that changed into, you know what? I don't need you to do anything about it. I'm going to do this, and nothing you can do or say is going to stop me. And right now, the most important thing I can do for you and the whole wide world is to spread this message and to awaken you. Because once more of us become awakened in this 2018, 2019, however long it lasts, mass awakening that's happening right this second, you know what? We are going to tear down all the structures that don't work, and then we're going to rebuild new ones that work. And you know what else? We're going to do it, with just like so much love. This is happening. And I don't need you to agree with me. I promise you. If you can go and have a spiritual awakening, you cannot sit here and tell me that I am having some kind of like psychological experience or mental health breakdown, even though a lot of days I actually do cry about nothing, or so it would seem to you, but it's definitely something to me. A lot of times I cry because something's so beautiful, it makes me cry. There's a song that I play, it's a little girl, she's 4 years old. She's at that God frequency I'm always talking about, and she makes me cry. A lot of people make me cry, but at first I cried because it was like, why is the world so bad? Why is the world so evil? I don't understand. Like, I probably might actually cry right now. Like, I just need you to understand, like, how serious I am. It's like, why can't we send our kids to school? Like, why do I have to be afraid of my children getting shot? Why do people fight? Why do they erase history? Why on earth would they force me to go to some stupid institution and read crap books that I knew weren't true? And now they tell me it's not there anymore. It's gone. And not only that, but I have a false memory of it, aka the Mandela effect. And then on top of all of that, everything doesn't work. And I'm not the only one that knows that. Why? Why cannot we create solutions? Okay, so let's take that a step further. I promise you, I have implemented solutions on all levels for basically every major thing, such as hunger, homelessness, gainfully becoming employed, getting a degree, free education, all kinds of stuff that I am not even going to touch. So that's the structure. That's the foundation. And this is me tearing it down, and this is what an awakening does. You see it, you know it, but you become fierce. that you are going to now implement. Foundations right there. If you're an angel investor, yeah, you might want to invest. If you're not, who cares? All you need to do right now is awaken. My job for you right now is to awaken you. And I will do this every single day, all day, for as long as it takes to get you to awaken. Because if enough of us awaken, then enough of us can tear down the structures that don't work and all the bad, negative things happening all over the world. And even though we can't actually ever truly like win, I mean, bad's always gonna, there's always gonna be good and evil. There's no other plainer way to put that. So, you know, but we will remold this world, and it will be a different form. It will be structurally different. In my world, it will be self-sustaining. We will grow our own food, blah, blah, blah. So our system will emerge, and it will replace all of the other systems that are monotonously asleep. And yeah, I just said the systems are asleep, just like people who are asleep, who haven't awakened. We know it's there. You know, you drive to that street every day, and are you the kind of person that carries food in your car and water and hands it to a homeless person? Or do you like jam out on your radio and roll your window up and not even make eye contact? Honestly, because that's pretty cowardly. And I don't know. Then again, let me be careful with my words there. See, I live in Texas. So in Texas, homeless people are not aggressive here. I also have lived in basically just about every other state in the United States. So I do know that in a lot of states, there is aggressiveness. So I kind of retract my statement just then. Like, why would you even make eye contact? What, are you afraid of them? Okay, agreed. There are a lot of cases where you should be afraid of them, but that's not in this situation where I currently reside. That's not a thing here. They're not aggressive. They're just homeless. And I just carry food in my car and water, and I just give it to them. That's it. That's all it is. And, all right, so you begin to understand that you have this job. This is your job. And it's going to seem to anybody who knows you so sudden and so abrupt that literally you are seriously a completely different person. I'm serious. The old you is freaking gone. It's dead. You never have to worry about any of that stuff ever coming back to you again. This you now, we have a lot of work to do, so wake up, please. And I'm always here if you want to cry. There's a lot of crying that goes on with the awakening process. Nobody wants to talk about it. I don't care. I'm here to talk to you about it. It sucks. It hurts. Growing pains hurt. However, if you are not willing to hurt to improve the lives of basically, literally every single other person on this earth, knowing that we are starseeds who came to this earth from wherever, and I don't want to address the issue of, well, which planet did you come from, or whatever, however people ask the same question. I'm not ready to expose that information just yet, simply for the fact that I don't have that information just yet. I've got, you know, my sensations and feelings, thoughts and ideas and things that seem to fit, but I don't have that answer yet directly. Anyway, so yeah, like literally everybody that you know, especially, well, no, it doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter. It's not. It is a gradual, a spiritual awakening to a point, but at some point the gradual of it goes away and you just literally snap out of it and snap into this. This is you. This is the new you. Okay, I realize I've escalated my voice, but that's because I need to make you understand on such a serious level how deeply this is, like, sometimes all I can do is just cry or say like, I don't know how else to tell you. I mean, it's It's just so awesome and so amazing, and like literally everything is everything. And I could not be more serious. And I want you to have this. So what is it going to take to get you to do this? And what do you have to lose by trying? You have to want this. You do know that, right? You literally have to want this so bad. And that's why I talk about the law of attraction, or the secrets. The law of attraction literally says that if you want something bad enough and you think about it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, for God knows how long, nobody gets to put a number on that, it's going to happen. That song, you hear it, and then it comes on the radio. Oh, it doesn't just come on the radio. It comes on every single radio station at the same time for like the next 2 weeks of your life, to the point where you are annoyed with it. It's like that. Well, that piece of it's like that. All right, the next most important thing, and this is serious, after you have become a completely different person and the whole world notices, you take away the opportunity for the whole world to notice, because you have to have inner peace. It needs to be quiet. It needs to be like dim-ish. We don't want to be exposed to radiation. We don't want to be exposed to outside influences. I don't leave my house. I don't even like the water. The water is poison. Don't believe me? Google it. It's, gosh, I know I'm seeming to be dramatic, but you know, here's the breakthrough between your spiritual awakening and your enlightenment. And if you're still with me right now on this one, okay, now we're going to talk about enlightenment. So you've had your spiritual awakening, you've surpassed all that, you've become this other person, you know that this crap right here in the world doesn't work, it's never worked, and it's common sense. Like, I mean, like, I really want to say a curse word here, but I'm not going to. But it makes you so, not angry, just overly passionate, that it's so right there in your face. It's like they're laughing at us. Hello, we know homelessness is a problem. Ha ha ha. Here's the tent, go away. What? No. No. And not just no, but here's how it's really going to go down. A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. I'm calling that the foundation. Sure, I'm going to use my nonprofit right here, right now for this example. Here it is. Look it up. Pens for Pals organization. Have a good look around. Go for it. Stalk me on Facebook. See if I'm kidding. I have solutions. And so do you. And the difference between awakened and enlightened is that you put that to work. As an awakened person, I'm here to awaken you. That's my job. After I have awakened you, you will become enlightened. And after that, your job is to awaken others. And this is an ongoing effect. Whoa, sounds like energy, doesn't it, right? Like, see how it's all connected? Do you see it yet? Energy goes on and on and on and on and on. Hey, even history repeats itself. I mean, it used to until 2019, when history was like, yeah, no, that never happened. You're crazy. And all right, cool. I'm crazy. I do not care. I only care about you, the world, everyone in it, and everyone in it who wants to do this, because you have to want this so badly, and it will consume you. And when it does, you're going to finally become enlightened. Welcome to enlightenment. Of course, my dog would bark right then. He's actually, did I tell you that you can communicate with animals and you can hear people's thoughts and read minds? Yeah, a few more of those little gifts I don't talk much about because they seem to creep people out. Not that I care, but it's just, I don't want to sound like I'm bragging or something, so I just don't even go there. Anyway, so basically, it's like everything around you, when you become enlightened, everything around you becomes an indistinct chatter. And it's like, you kind of sit back and you're just looking there. Let's use social media as a prime example here. Why does that person, okay, actually this is a really good example. I made a video on this, I just haven't posted it yet. This was a while back, like right at the beginning of my awakening. I made a video about this. So social media decided one day to wake up and say, hey world, you are not allowed to body shame, correct? Y'all remember that? Because I do. So what happened was it created a whole new system of not only can you not body shame, but on top of that, two things happen, and this is going to blow your mind. Number one, okay, social media, you have to voluntarily donate your information. I mean, Jesus, you might as well just like give them your blood sample. And if you don't know that facial recognition is a thing on Facebook, better wake up, because it is. Not just Facebook either. Anywho, so what's going to happen is you are going to notice a whirlwind of all these crazy, stupid things that don't matter. They're just images, they're just sayings, they're just this, they're just indistinct thought, chatter. It has no importance. Why are you wasting your energy talking about it? Well, you know what? I'm not going to waste my breath explaining that. How stupid and ignorant that is. You just donated your literal information, and yes, I'm guilty of this too. But here's the thing, when you become enlightened, not only are you aware of that, and you know, you learn a few cool tricks on how to, well, you just don't care. You don't get on social media anymore. If you do, and you'd like a piece of advice, and nobody's paying me to say this, I'm just going to tell you this as a business owner. There's this app called Buffer, Buffer. It's $99 a year. You can add all your social media things on there, and you can make one post, and it can post them on, I believe, 9 different separate, you know, social media platforms, networks, websites, whatever you want to put them on, in just like one post. And then you can delete all those apps off your phone. Fact. Okay, so back to what I was saying about 2 things are going to happen. Number one, when the day happened that body shaming was no longer allowed, and I do recall, like for myself personally, I recall a man saying it, and oh, hold on, I need a drink for this and a deep breath, please. I'm sorry, but give me a minute. Yeah. All right. When body shaming wasn't allowed anymore, 2 things happened. Number one, women started dressing differently. Did they not? Am I making this up? Nope. Because you're not allowed to body shame, well, it's kind of the whole flaunt it if you got it, girl. And that's great and stuff. However, the downside to that is that you just got outsmarted by the same trolls who were sending you D pics before, and all of us, you know, women were like, ugh, gross, stop sending us, what gave you the right to do that? You just let the trolls outsmart you. Did you hear what I just said? You literally just let the same guys who would normally send those pics to you against your will and expose you to some crap you would not wish on your, and you can never unsee it. Ugh, I hate that when you can't unsee something. But anyway, so now they don't have to send the D pics. Because why? Because on your profile and on all of your social media, you know, we're not allowed to body shame anymore. And that's great. I totally swear to God, I am totally okay with that. But guys, girls, whoever, whatever, you don't have to show everybody everything to get attention. And you don't need that attention. It's not who you are. So stop doing it. All you're doing by doing that and showing it off and showing your body off and showing more of your body and then posting it on social media and going in public and doing it, you literally just gave the trolls the power. You literally did the thing they knew you would do. Algorithms. Do you know what an algorithm is? Algorithms take a long look at things and how they work out, and this is the best example of a perfect, algorithm, if there's such a thing, at least for this example. You got body shame. So you have an issue, body shaming. Body shaming is a thing. Okay, you gotta have another issue over here on this side. All these nasty, creepy people, not even going there, sending us all these inappropriate crap we did not ask for. Now you got a third party right here in the middle, and they're like this word was created because of social media, because we volunteered and donated our own information. And yes, I'm guilty of this too. I've done it too. This new word evolved, and the word is troll. The troll is right here in the middle between you can't body shame, but we don't want to see your pics. So, who won? You are now showing your body and pictures of it on social media, and they don't have to ask you for the pics. They're hey girl, rock it, you look great. Think about it. I really want to say a bad word. I have a word for this, actually. And also, the trolls just won too. Why did the trolls win? Well, because you just gave them your power. Did you not realize how mine blinked? You just got fact. Take back your power. If you don't want to live in a world with trolls, stop using the word troll. Yeah. It's not okay to body shame, but you know what? You guys, you need to stop doing that. Hello, wake up. You got outsmarted by a bunch of morons who literally, you just gave them exactly what they wanted. What do you think is going to happen next based on those algorithms? Well, I can tell you what I've seen so far, and I don't even want to go there. I don't want to talk about it. I don't leave my house for a reason, I promise you. Anywho, let's get back to this list. All right. So, all of a sudden, you become enlightened. Not empowered, enlightened. That means you have light in you. If you are enlightened, you are illuminated. If you are illuminated, you're like glowing. You're like, I say all the time that I love glitter. Because glitter is like this. Glitter is... it's sparkly, shiny new toy, pretty, and it's glitter. Like, who can't look at glitter and be like, ah, glitter? Like, oh man, where is it? I don't know where it is, but I have a bunch of glitter jars around here somewhere, and you shake them up, and they just like glitter everywhere, like a snow globe, but it's glitter. Anyway, glitter rocks. So, there's this video that I've never told anybody about until right now, where I said, if I could have one wish, oh man, all right, whatever, I'm gonna tell you, I don't care. Like, I do not care what people think about me because it's insignificant. But seriously, I made this video that goes, if I had one wish, I would wish that I could be glitter. Why? Why would I want to be glitter? I mean, I have one wish. Most people would wish for some really selfish stuff, right? But let's stay on focus here. So, why do I want to be glitter? Well, because glitter it's beautiful, it's radiant. It radiates from its own essence of being glitter. Glitter is a literal radiation of itself in a magnificent manner, so much so, and its binding agents literally attached to every particle of every atom of everything that it touches, and not. And it therefore is this big, messy, beautiful glitter thing. So then I went on in that video that God, I hope I never admit this again. But I am honest enough that if you ask me to show you the video, I would do it, because I don't care what y'all think. Like, this is who I am. Anyway, the point of the video was this. If I could be anything, I would want to be glitter. I would want to be glitter because if I had glitter and people come into our worlds and they can dim our light. This thing inside of us that shines us, who we are, our essence of us, we as people, we are so impressionable. And you know what? Glitter is not impressionable. Glitter, you throw it, everything just like glitterized. Yeah, I love glitter. I mean, it's awesome. Anyway, so if I were glitter, and the reason why I would want to be glitter is because what I've always seen about you right here on the inside, as well as the exterior, but more importantly on the interior, if I were glitter and I were a literally all-encompassing sparkle, that everything it came into contact with, it sparkled all over it, then I could just literally like sparkle and throw my glitter on you, and then you then would sparkle too. And anyone who ever tried to dull your light ever again, or take away that shine, or dim your life and your love and you know what they're gonna see now? Everything I saw in you the whole time. That's right. Right here on the inside is now, it's glittery and it's shiny, and it's on the outside, and that's you. You can't take that away. If you can, show me one video, debunk my theory. Show me one piece of glitter in the entire universe that doesn't glitter. Good luck with that one. So yeah, that happened. Anyway, listen. Another thing that we go through is we, I don't want to get too deep into this topic because this video is pretty long. And your ego goes away. Ego, we don't have ego. We don't do ego. We don't do lies. We don't take anything for granted. Anything that's insignificant, clatter, chatter, noises, TV, static, volume, sound, people, energy, every single thing is like, get away from me. You are literally disrupting my essence of what keeps me vibrating on such a high level. And yeah, again, I don't care if you judge the fact that like I can't speak properly sometimes. It's fine. It happens. It's tongue-tied, and it's just because I'm so excited all the time, but whatever, not the point. So y'all don't even realize like how powerfully we are affected by literally everything, and how powerful our influence is going to be on you if you could just, if you wanted this, you can have it. You can have this. Anybody in the whole wide world can have this. All you got to do is want it. You need to want it bad enough that you have to think in the law of attraction manner. Not, I want to hear the song. Oh, well, isn't that a coincidence that song came on the radio? No. It's like this. Gosh, it's all about how it's verbiage. It's all about how you say things. How you say things, sound, again, frequency, sound, same thing. Okay, so if I said in my mind, oh man, I'm thinking of that one song. That would be so cool to hear. And then it came on. Did you see what I just did there versus, what was that song called? Gosh, dang, I don't know. Okay, so the difference is power of positivity, power of suggestion, and law of attraction says that you are. You must be, you are not hopeful to hear that song. You thought it, that thought became your perception, which is now your reality in whichever realm you are traveling in at this exact moment in life. And I guarantee you that song is now going to start playing everywhere. Okay? Watch. check this out. Sinead O'Connor, Nothing Compares to You. Let's just see how many of us actually hear that song after this video. So, back to that indistinct chatter, meaningless, stupid, small, simple, no meaning of anything crap goes away. That includes social media. You realize that some people call this like the dumbing down of, people, society, whatever. It's not the dumbing down of the world. It's the waking up of the world. Because once you awaken, you cannot any longer be dumbed down by outside influences, because they're not welcome in our lives. We don't let them in. Get away from me with that crap. Honestly, like, people who show up at my door, again, I just don't even want to talk about it, but they never leave here unless they're in tears, and it's because I hug them and I love them. And you know what? Forget my door. If I were to go outside, and I have very specific things that I miraculously somehow caught this one on video, and this guy like came up to me screaming and yelling at me for like pulling over on the side of the road, like in a parking spot. Anywho, I chased him down the road, and I was like, man, why are you yelling at me? He's like, because he says to me, because people suck. And all of a sudden he, okay, let me rewind. We're gonna do this real quick. Forget the list for a minute, because this is way more important. This is something. One day, I'm driving in the downtown part of the city. Lots of buildings, lots of cars, lots of traffic, whatever. It's 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Who cares what time it is? But a man approaches my vehicle as I'm trying to park to the right side of the road, which is a parking spot, which I only needed to park there for, 7 or 8 minutes. So I bought $2 worth of whatever little sticky thing and put it on the window. But I never even made it that far. He came at me way before. I was not even in park yet. I was still in drive. I was still like trying to figure out how to parallel park between here, and somewhere where like I knew I could fit, but I'm hearing this person screaming at me from afar. And maybe my window was cracked, or maybe it wasn't. I don't know, but I do remember having the radio on at that point in life, at that very moment, and I'm like, who's screaming? What's going on? I mean, I'm not used to, one sec. I'm not used to hearing screaming, basically, at 2 o'clock in the afternoon on any given day here in Austin, Texas. We are happy people, tree huggers, for real. Really. So, man approaches me and he starts saying all these racial things like, you don't understand this, and you wouldn't understand that because you're a white girl, and you're a girl, and you're da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And he's yelling and screaming at me in the middle of the street on, like, basically the busiest street in the entire city of Austin, Texas, during lunch hour, literally right in front of the courthouse. So anybody who's got jury duty, works at the court, the jail's right there, the prison, well, okay, not the prison, the jail's right there. A lot of other entities are right there, and buildings and associations, and the courthouse and people. This is like literally, if you could imagine the worst place in the whole wide world to just like walk up to a car and get killed just because you walked up to it, this would be the street that would happen on. He comes at me from nowhere, and he's screaming and yelling and yelling and yelling. And I remember turning down my radio, and I also remember, as I had safely pulled over to the right side of the road, before I was even able to get that, the ticket where you put a couple dollars in the little machine in it, and it buys you an hour or two, whatever. It didn't matter. I was doing a delivery, so it only took me a second. And I had, the signs on all my windows and stuff. Look, my car was lit up like a Christmas tree. I'm pretty hard to miss, but whatever. He's still yelling at me, and he just keeps saying that I don't understand. I could not possibly understand. How could I possibly understand? Like, I'm not a black person, so I could never understand what it must be like to be this, or to be that, or to be homeless, or to be this, or to be that, or whatever in the world he was yelling at me about. So I just was like, pulled over safely on the side of the road. Oh my God, and the worst part is I'm just as guilty as him for not even looking into traffic. I'm serious, y'all. Like, this happened just multiple months ago. And yeah, so he's yelling at me. He walks straight up to my car, gets in my face, and I roll the window down to allow him to yell at me because I knew that okay, I felt what he was saying was significant, even though I couldn't really understand what it was that he was so upset about. It upset me so much that he was yelling about, like, how I couldn't understand him because of my skin color or because of whatever he assumed. I don't know. That's the problem with assumptions. Assumption, assume. Assume is when you make an ass out of me and you. Assume. So, I put the car in park. I don't even think I was parked straight. Whatever, I don't care. I proceed to get out of my, I don't even think, like, I don't really even recall having the keys in my hand. I think I just, like, put it in park and just, like, hopped out the car and I start chasing the guy and he's still screaming these obscenities at me. But now that he has confronted me through my window of my car, again, I'm not mad at the person. I'm like, what can I do to help you? Like, how? Anyway, so I don't look in traffic either. I'm just as guilty. We both cross a major intersection where we both should be dead right now. But, you know, given how many lives I have, like a cat, keep dying and coming back, yeah, really, I don't care. It's fine. Maybe I even did that day too, on top of all the other days, and just don't remember it. But whatever. Not the point. Point is, this guy, after yelling at me, he crosses into, we're like literally in the middle of like a 4-lane major street. Lots of traffic. Lunch hour. Okay. He crosses the street. I follow him. I'm like, hey. I'm like, dude, just stop running away from me for 5 seconds. Like, hey. I'm like yelling back at him. I'm like, hey, just... and by the way, I have really bad asthma, so at this point, we have made it across the street to the other side of the street and have probably gone, I don't know, like half a block, and then a stop sign, and then a crosswalk, and then a stop sign, and then a crosswalk. You get the point, like, you know, light, stop sign, crosswalk, new street, right here, this street, and so that just proceeds. Crosswalk, new street, crosswalk, new street, all that great. Okay, you get the idea. There's multiple streets. So we started over here. Right about here is at the point where I'm like, hey, could you please just stop for a second? I don't understand. Like, what did I do to you? Did I, like, run over you? What in the world is going on here? I'm seriously just sitting in my car, like, minding my own business, literally just parking. Literally. Anyway, I chased the guy for like half a block. Then he starts yelling at me for, how are you, I'm going to be careful how I word this one. What he basically was saying was, how are you allowed to you know, say hey back at me, basically. I'm allowed to come up to your car and yell at you through your window on 6th Street in Austin, Texas on a Friday at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, right in front of the police station and the courthouse. But God forbid you chase me half a block. You got some kind of nerve, girl. Yeah, well, maybe I do. So, so he continued to keep running from me, and he continued to keep saying, however he worded why are you running up on me? I think that's the exact words that he used. I was like, okay, so at this point we're like at least 2 blocks in, okay? And remember, at the end of each block, there is a stoplight, okay? And neither one of us are paying attention. I didn't care if I got killed or not. And clearly he didn't either. Nobody looked both ways before crossing. Yeah, no. Stoplights weren't a thing. I don't even know how to explain how miraculously this is that we did not get killed or hit or there just were like no cars. It goes back to that bending time thing, knowing what I know now. So time was stopped. I got so upset at him for being so upset at the world, and not even because he took it out on me, but I just really needed to comprehend what in the world is going on with this guy. So yeah, I did proceed to chase him for like at least another 2 blocks. All right, then I'm like, oh, I literally cannot breathe. I'm literally full mode asthma attack. I'm like, oh my God, please stop running from me. Please stop running from me. Please stop running from me. Like to the point where when we finally crossed over that like 3rd block intersection and are standing on a street corner of whatever street, you know, like here's the last street, crosswalk, new street. We're like right here. There's a stop sign. I remember that. We are like right here. So here's stop sign. We're like right here. I'm like, guy, listen to me. And I probably was like yelling most of this the whole time. Again, I do have this on video. I'll find it. I'm probably not going to post it, but whatever. I'm like, listen to me. I'm trying to tell you something, because he keeps saying to me like, why do you keep running up on me? I'm like, I don't even know what that means. You are the one who's running. I'm not running up on you. You yelled at me, and I am trying to tell you something. Like, why won't you stop running from me so I can tell you something? Well, he didn't understand what I was trying to tell him was, listen, dude, which I eventually did get to tell him. I said, listen to me, man. I understand that you're having a shit day. I do. Now, I don't know what's wrong with you, and I don't know why you're having such a crappy day. But you know what? Life is just like that. And sometimes we all just have shit days, and people do suck, and you are right. Like, it is not fair, the world that we live in. It is not fair that, I didn't know it at the time that he was homeless, but I did proceed to say, like, it's not fair that people are homeless. It's not fair that we live in a world where like all these solutions are right in front of their freaking faces and nobody's doing anything about it. And like, honestly, guys, I just like unleashed on him. I just felt like his energy, and I was like, stop running from me. Seriously, stop running from me. And finally he did. And by the way, I can't breathe, so I don't even know, like, I'm like, I'm like literally having an asthma attack at the same time. I'm like, please stop running from me. Just let me hug you. I don't know you. I don't know what's going on with you. But I'm right here if you want to tell me. I said, can I please give you a hug? Actually, I don't even think I asked him. I think I straight up just gave the guy a hug, and he kept trying to like back away from my hug, and I'm like, I got you. Listen to my voice. I got you. I know the world sucks. I know people suck. I know how cruel people are. I know. I feel it. I do. Like, I live in this world with you too. And I hugged him like just so tight. And then eventually he finally let go. And eventually he finally like cried and hugged me back. And again, I still don't know like how we didn't get killed with like traffic. I don't know. There were just like no cars. I don't know. Alternate universe, whatever you want to call it. I don't care what you call it, but that's the truth, and that's what happened. And eventually he hugged me back, and I never even asked him his name. And to this day, like, I regret that. I don't even know his name. I didn't even know anything. And it doesn't matter except for the fact that, like, in retrospect, looking back on that day, honestly, like, if I could have that chance, the only thing I would change is I would have brought him home with me, and he could have just lived here with me. Like, that would literally be the thing that I would have changed. I don't need to give you a jacket or a tent. I mean, you can have one if you want one, but you can come live with me, guy. I don't even know his name. But that right there is a prime example of everything I have been trying to explain to you in every single video. Now, I did not let up on this guy who could have shot me, killed me, whatever ignorant other comments that people might say. I don't care. Like, when you care so much about trying to understand somebody and just trying to hug him and tell him that you love them, and which I told him multiple times how much I loved him. I was like, I don't even know who you are. I don't even know your name, but I'm telling you right now that I love you. And I just like, oh my God, I just bear hugged him. And by the way, he's like really tall and I'm really short, but not the, so I'm like basically bear hugging. I don't know, probably somewhere in his torso area, but I was not letting go, okay? No. And I told him, I said, you know what? You want to yell at me? I'm right here. I'm still not letting go. Come on, yell at me. He's yelling at me. I'm like, good on you. Keep yelling at me. Do whatever you need to do right now to feel what I'm trying to tell you. And then listen to me. I don't know you. I don't need to know you. To this day, I assure you, I only have one regret in life, and that is not bringing that man home to live with me and giving him a job and giving him a life and a house and a family. Literally, the only thing I regret on this entire earth is that thing. And God willing, maybe he'll see this video one day. And Guy, if you're watching this or you somehow are able to like see this video, look at the like down below part. Could you please contact me, because I want you to come move into my house. I want to help you become gainfully employed. I have everything that you need. I can get you certified in everything. I own a nonprofit. It's not going to cost you anything. Just let me help you, please. Give me a second chance. So anyway, and this video is pretty long, so I'm going to cut it short here. But listen, guys, the point is, I don't know this guy. I deeply regret that I can't take back, like, his pain, your pain, and the fact that you don't understand how much I hurt when anybody hurts, even this damn pen. Like, I can feel this pen's energy, and I don't care if you believe me, that's a fact. Like, a fact. This is what a spiritual awakening looks like. This is what it is. Call me what you will. But you know what, at the end of the day, it's beautiful, and the guy finally, eventually hugged me back, and he squeezed, and I squeezed, and I just didn't want to let go. I swear we hugged for like multiple minutes. Neither one wanted to let go. I was just like squeezing him, so I was like, I know, because, but I wasn't just saying, I know. I'm telling you, I know. I can feel it. Like, I know it's not fair. I know the world is up. I know the world is cruel. I know that people suck. Okay, I do. I know all those things, and you know, like, I'm sorry, but whatever. Who cares? Whatever. Yeah, crying. Usually, nose runs too. I don't care. But guys, I hope you get that chance one day, and I hope that you don't spend the rest of your life with the regret that you don't chase that person down and just tell them that you love them at any risk, at any cost. Call me reckless. Call me crazy. I don't care what you call me, but to the guy that I hope sees this, wherever you are, whoever you are, just call me. You already know I'm serious. And since then, a lot of people have come into my life in a very similar manner. Just knock on my door and literally say that Jesus sent them here. And I can't even go to the doctor without like meeting random people and having these conversations that anybody, if I just told you everybody in the whole wide world is basically annoying, indistinct chatter, but everything I have to say to people who are at least open to the to the fact that, you know, there is a God, we're spiritual beings, and it is possible to love almost, I mean, narcissists aside, it is possible to almost love everything better. And even if I can't love it or you or somebody else better, I hope that I can at least help. That's true. And I hope that you get the chance someday, as crazy as it sounds, to run up on a random stranger who's screaming and yelling obscenities at you in the middle of the street and hug him until he stops running from you, just so that you can tell him that you love him. Because you want to know what happened after that? You already know. People started showing up at my door. You don't have to believe in God. I don't even think I believed in God at the time, which was the weirdest part about my spiritual awakening. Spiritual, always, yes, definitely. But God, I don't know, because it was that whole why, that why phase. Why? What kind of a God would let this happen? We all go through that with everything, every major traumatic event in our lives and whatever. Anyway, that's it. I'm out. Thank you guys for watching. I love you guys. I'm gonna go have a full-on breakdown now. And honestly, if you pray, could you please pray that whoever that man is contacts me? Or maybe I can find him or something. I really want to hug him again. And I really want to see how he's doing. And anybody that's watching this, I want to know how you're doing too. And I really do love you. And y'all have no clue. So when I say a spiritual awakening hurts, it hurts to hurt. But you know what? I'll cry in front of you all day long and not care one bit. Number one. I'll never lie to you. I don't care about your opinion or indistinct chatter. People who listen to myself and another person having an actual conversation who are both awakened, I'm not saying that we're better, we just speak a different language. They're like, huh? Either that or they just actually, sometimes I think that's where bending time comes in. They actually don't even exist. They're not really even there. It's our realm when we're having a deep, connected conversation, myself and whomever. And everyone around us is just null and void to the whole. Because they don't give us funny looks. They just seem to be completely unaware of the fact that we're even talking to each other. Now that's assuming we're using our words to talk. I told you that telepathy is a thing. But anyway, listen, y'all have a good day. You can have a good life if you want one. I'm going to show you how if you want me to. If you need a friend, I'm right here. Right here. Right here. I love y'all. Good night. Hey y'all, thank you so much for liking, following, subscribing, watching, and also hitting the notification bell to stay tuned for the next episodes. Welcome to your enlightenment. We have finally surpassed your awakening, and I'm so excited for you. So, I'll see you guys again next time. Have a good one.